Plaintiff David Garrett is suing his former neighbors for negligent supervision of a minor, property damage, and a police report because he accuses 14-year-old Kaylin Hamilton of shooting at his property with a BB gun. But Alexander and Martha Hamilton say the plaintiff resents their family because Martha agreed to testify in court for the plaintiff's ex-wife, who she says the plaintiff was physically abusing.
David Garrett is suing Alexander Hamilton and Martha Hamilton as former neighbors for negligent supervision of a minor, property damage, and a police report. How are you, David?
I'm fine, Your Honor.
Tell me why you're here.
Your Honor, the Hamiltons are the rudest, most obnoxious neighbors I have ever had. No competition.
All right. And why is he saying this about you?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
Well,
tell me why, David.
The two daughters would stand out in the driveway with their boyfriends, leaning against their cars, smoking cigarettes, having their car stereos blasting, and flipping their cigarette butts into my front yard. I went over, knocked on their front door. Alex came to the door. I confronted him with this, and his reaction was he slammed the door in my face.
Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
What did he say when you opened the door?
I think he said something to the effect that, "Are these yours?"
The cigarette butts?
Yes.
And you slammed the door?
When he started to push the door open, yes.
Did you push the door open?
No, I did not.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
I have a photograph here
I'd like to see the proximity of
that
the
I
two
can
homes.
show you how close the two properties are.
All right. They're flicking cigarette butts over here?
Right, exactly.
Okay. So, but your front door is over here and their front door is over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Martha, when did the bad blood start?
Shortly before 2000, when I went to court.
For what?
As a witness for his now ex-wife in a domestic battery.
He was accused of beating his wife?
Yes.
And you went to court to testify for the wife?
Yes.
Aha.
She's.
How long had they lived in the house before this
was
happened?
the second wife.
Tell me the second one.
Yes.
Tell me the story.
Everything was fine. His first wife was ready to the kids. We all got along. Everything was fine. Then she started coming down to get the girls to read to him with black eyes. And I'm like, "Are you okay? What's the matter?" "Nothing, it's okay." One day we were outside doing yard work. She was out in the garden. He started yelling at her. She come running down to our house, hid in our garage, hunkered down. I said, "Do you want me to call the police? Do you want me to call your parents?" "No, no, no." Well, they eventually got, and it was left at that.
Do you remember this?
We had an argument about the dog.
Yeah.
I stood my ground, she stood her ground. We got into a big fight. I did not hit her.
Okay. What happened with the second wife?
She had bruises on her neck, on her arms, asking us if it would be okay if when she was running away from him to keep him from beating up on her, if she could hide on our property.
Did the police ever come?
I don't think she ever called them. But there was one point where no one was home at our house, and she ran down through, we live like on a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
She ran through the cul-de-sac down to another home.
Right.
And that woman took her to the emergency room.
What's with the second wife? What happened to her?
We were having marital problems, and I wanted to get away from her. And I wanted to relax. She had me really high strung. So I decided that I would go down to the Highland Lounge and buy a 6-pack of beer. And cold beer and come back. Give me time to get away from her, and she could calm down and I could calm down. What happened was I met two of my buddies from work down there. I drank one shot with them.
Did you get drunk?
I did become intoxicated, and I did strike my wife, and I did give her a black eye.
Were you arrested? Yes or no?
Yes, I was.
Were you convicted? Yes or no?
No.
Why?
Because I said I was not under the circumstances. I explained.
That you're not responsible because you were
I
drunk?
explained the circumstances. I promised her.
Was it a justified beating?
No, Your Honor.
Then what did you explain?
Your Honor, I promised my wife
That you would
I
never
would
do it
never
again, so she
touch
dropped
hard
the charges?
liquor again.
Talk to me, Martha.
She also told me that he told her that if she ever called the cops on him again, he would quit paying the green card fees. Because
Where is she from?
He went to the Philippines.
That's not true, Your Honor.
He went to the Philippines to get a woman who would do what he wanted her to do when.
Where is she now?
Philippines.
Oh, you went to the Philippines. So you were out of the country. You were
Right.
looking for another one. Okay. Why are you suing them?
For damage that Kaylin Hamilton, their grandson, caused to
Are you
the south
Kaylin?
side.
What'd he do?
to the south side of my home by shooting a high-powered CO2 BB gun at the aluminum siding and the windows and my mailbox.
How old are you, Kalen?
I'm 14, Your Honor.
Do you have a CO2 powered BB gun?
I have a CO2 handgun that shoots plastic BBs.
You know he has this? Grandma? Grandpa?
My
Do you
grandpa bought
condone
it for
this?
me.
Yes.
Yes?
I don't like guns at all.
Yeah.
So I wasn't
Where's
happy
his mother
with
and father? You're the grandparents?
Yes.
Where's his mother?
His mother is my daughter,
Yeah.
and I've had custody of him since he was born, because she was a minor when she gave birth, and
So you're raising him. Where is she now?
she's at home now.
She's living with you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
She
Now-
at one point had a drug problem, and it's going through drug court, and she's been clean for almost 2 years now,
Okay.
and doing what she's supposed to do and raising her children.
Okay.
And he's portraying us to be crazy and obnoxious. I have documentation that we are not crazy and we haven't done things, and he has.
All right. Let me ask you this: what damage, if any, David, did you have as a result of Kalen's use of this gun?
There were 2 BB shot holes in one pane of glass that measures 24 by 36.
Do you have a picture?
No, but I have the receipt where and a witness release form
David.
from the lady at the
David.
glass company.
David. Do you have any convictions?
Convictions? Yes, I do. Illegal consumption when I was 18. Conversion, 1 time.
Conversion, that means theft.
Yes, minor.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 arrests. Okay, now, let me see the damage, or let me see the receipt for the
and-
repair. All right, Kalen, what'd you do?
I've never shot his house with a BB gun, Your Honor. I really haven't.
Oh, come on.
No, I really haven't.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
He's making this up?
May I ask him what window he's talking about?
This was the lower window, storm window on the bedroom.
Did you see him shoot this gun?
No, my tenant did.
Where's your tenant's statement?
I have a police report.
Let me see the police report.
Okay.
Kalen didn't do this. This is about getting back after I went to court with his second wife. And
So
she
he's
moved-
getting even with you because you were going to testify for the second wife that you feel was a battered woman.
Yes.
Okay.
And when
Upon arrival, I spoke with the resident. Who is
He's my former tenant, one of my
the
former
side of
tenants.
the house which he rents from David Garrett has been shot by the neighbor boys with BB guns, causing damage. I was outside with the owner, David Garrett, and the complainant when the grandfather of the suspect was outside watching us inspect the aluminum siding, which was dimpled. I estimate that the cause of the damage was BBs. I then went to Wink. Alex Hamilton showed up at the Winks with Kalen. The boys made a statement to the effect that Brandon was outside with a large caliber handgun at some point. Has Kalen ever shot at anyone before?
Their dogs. All of the tenants told me they had shot at the dogs before. I was not aware
You
of them.
shoot at dogs?
No, I've never shot an animal.
I have a statement from Mrs. Winks
Yes.
about that night that the officer was called.
Yeah, let's see.
And
David called police, accused a Hamilton boy and our son of shooting BBs at his house and making marks on the siding. This rude cop comes pounding at our door late at night, accusing. You know what? I'm not even going to read it. If somebody starts a statement by saying that a rude cop comes banging on the door, a cop's doing his job. I have no reason to believe that this signed statement from a cop is a lie. And no parent of a kid with a BB gun is going to send me a letter saying the cop is rude banging at a door when he's doing his job. He may not be the sanest guy in the world, but at the same time, I think he's got a complaint. I think he's out of control. I don't like what I'm
not out of
reading.
control.
He's smirking at me. As far as I'm concerned, he's got a gun. He shouldn't have a gun. He's at an age where you've got to supervise him. What kind
He
of
is
grades
being-
does this
he
kid
is
get in
being
school?
super-
Answer my question.
his grades are not good.
Oh, that's a shock.
Well,
It doesn't pay to take your grandson's side because he's your grandson.
trust me.
And
I
you know what,
wouldn't.
Martha? I think you're probably a good woman. I do. I think he needs some supervision. I think he's an aggravating guy. All right? I think he beat his second wife. I think this probably did start with your saying you were going to testify for the second wife. I have no doubt that a woman would come to you. all right, to try to get your help. Now, what we've got, though, are the Hatfields and the McCoys, and it's only going to escalate. And this is what my suggestion is to you. You don't put or allow this kid to have any kind of gun till he gets straight A's, and then only when you're with him.
Actually, Your Honor, the guns are gone now.
Good. You know what that tells me? That tells me somebody's smartening up a little bit. You're lucky. Could have been a lot worse. Now, the issue is whether or not the defendants are liable for the negligent supervision of a minor. You are raising your grandson. As far as I'm concerned, in the state of Indiana, a parent is responsible and has a duty or an obligation to exercise reasonable care over the supervision of a minor child to prevent him from harming others or damaging other property. The plaintiff has to prove that your grandson caused the damage. Has he proved it beyond a reasonable doubt? Absolutely not. But as far as this court is concerned, I don't think there's any question but that the bad blood and some of the stuff I'm reading by a detective who's got no reason, as far as I'm concerned, to make anything up, indicates to me that there is property damage here, that Kalen is the one who's responsible. You took the guns away. That means you knew there was a problem going on. You didn't want anything else. I'm going to give you a grand total of $1,000, and that's a lot. That's the end of the story. Now, let me make a suggestion to you, David. You better tone down a little bit, because at the end of the day, you're going to have a real problem on your property because there's too much anger building up. $1,000 for the plaintiff, so ordered.
These people, as was shown in the courtroom, they were dishonest.
David is the one that's out of control. He has already sued at least 2 of his tenants for damages to the siding, and now he's turning around and suing us.